Hi, welcome to Essential IT and Security Skills. I'm Charles Redman, Master Trainer, here to guide you through the essentials that you are going to need to land the job that you are looking for. In this series, we're going to talk about essential PC skills. I'm going to walk you through everything from software to hardware. Most people know me as a cybersecurity expert. Well, I couldn't have gotten there without learning the basics first. That's what this series is going to do. And then we'll move on in some later series with some more advanced concepts and techniques. But remember, it all starts with the basics. It starts right here, the essential PC skills. We're going to relate the history of Microsoft Windows, explain the Windows interface, identify the different types of operating systems like Windows Vista, Windows XP, and Windows 7, and describe some of the utilities in Windows that are essential to a PC tech. These are the operating systems that you must be familiar with to successfully navigate the A+ exam. Windows XP replaced both Windows 2000 and Windows 98 as the desktop for both Home and Office. There are multiple versions such as Professional, Home, and Media Center. The main claim to fame for Windows XP was the Windows XP Professional. It dominated the Windows domains for over a decade. So when understanding the different versions of Windows XP, it's easier to explain what it can't do versus what it can. Like no Windows domains, no EFS or encrypted file system, there's no support for more than one processor, and it cripples NTFS. However, it was still possible to share files across work groups in Windows XP Home, and here's a look at how to do that. Just simply go to the Sharing tab and click the box that says Share this folder on the network. Next, you have Windows Media Center. It was pretty much the same as Home, except it concentrated on multimedia. Next, we have Windows Vista. Vista Home Basic, much like XP Home, was geared towards the home user, where Vista Home Premium was geared towards multimedia. Next, we have Windows Vista Business, Ultimate, and Enterprise. With Business, now you got back the security, file sharing, and domain access that you enjoyed with Windows XP Professional. However, most organizations went to Vista Enterprise. It was an enhancement on Vista Business, and it included extra features like BitLocker. Windows Vista was, well, not well received. It seemed to have a lot of issues and problems to work out in its earlier versions, and once fixed, Microsoft quickly released Windows 7. Windows 7 included Windows 7 Starter, Home Premium, Professional, and Ultimate. So keeping with this theme, Windows 7 Starter was geared mostly towards netbooks, where Windows 7 Professional had everything that the modern business network needed, like the capability of joining domains and remote desktop. However, most organizations opted for Windows 7 Enterprise. It included extra features designed for large Windows networks, such as enhanced network searches, increased application security, and BitLocker. Enter 64-bit Windows. When 64-bit CPUs entered the marketplace right around 2001, it allowed for addressing up to 16 terabytes of RAM. You know you're working with a 64-bit operating system or application because it will be designated as x86 or x64. The Windows operating systems, XP through Windows 7, all support 64-bit architectures. They will run on any AMD or Intel processor, and most all 32-bit software will still run fine on the 64-bit operating system. However, some software require you to run in capability mode. Simply right-click on an executable and select Properties, then select the Capability tab. Then select the drop-down that will give you the compatibility options for your operating system. Most all Windows interface share a common look and feel. The utilities are same or similar. The GUI or graphical user interface works the same. The command line interface is very similar. It's gotten a facelift over the years. However, for you as the PC tech, the common areas of interest are the user interface, the tech-oriented utilities, and the rearrangement of some of the typical OS folders. Part of the facelift of Windows from XP, which was unique to Windows Vista and 7, is transparency and Flip 3D. However, this upgraded facelift also came with upgraded requirements. To access these requirements, you were required to have a DirectX 9 capable video card or better, a minimum of 128 megs of video RAM, and the Pixel Shader version 2.0. To know whether or not your machine was capable of Aero, you had two options. If the Windows key tab worked, you had Aero. Simply right-click the desktop, select Properties, and then Windows Color and Appearance. Also included in this facelift was the changed look and feel of the Start button. While all of them were located in the same location, the classic green XP Start button had been replaced by a more modern blue circular Start button with just the Windows logo. You'll also notice an updated look and feel to the Taskbar. Now, your most commonly used applications could be pinned to the taskbar, so you no longer had to go to Start, All Programs, and find the application you wanted to start, or you no longer needed an icon to clutter up your desktop. Next, the Explorer got a facelift. Here you see the My Computer Explorer box in Windows XP. It provided for access to drives, folders, and files. It was customizable to the point that you can display different views or show hidden files or hide file extensions. Now with Windows 7, you can see much more information such as network drives and common tasks. In Windows XP, you could toggle the folder list. The folder list view enables you to copy and move files easily between files and folders. In Windows Explorer, click on the Folders button, and then copy and move some files. We do this all the time, but we don't think about what we're doing. When dragging files or folders, holding down the Control key copies the files and folders versus moving them. Windows XP hides certain things by default. In My Documents, click Tools, and then Folder Options, and you can select the View tab, Show Hidden Files and Folders, deselect Hide Extensions, or deselect Hide Protected Operating System Files. Here you see the difference between hiding folders and files or displaying folders and files. To find My Documents in Windows XP, which contains my pictures, my music, and my videos, these directories are not on the desktop by default. To have them displayed on the desktop, it must be configured. You'll do this through the Desktop Items dialog box. Here's a look at some of the pictures that are in the My Pictures subfolder in My Documents. Now, to view user files in Windows Vista and Windows 7, which contain the same directories, they're just named slightly different. Instead of My Pictures and My Music, they're just simply Documents, Pictures, Music, Video. The Libraries in Windows 7 aggregates folders from multiple locations. It places them in a single, easy-to-find spot in the Windows Explorer. The files and folders don't actually move. The library just creates links to them. You should also be familiar with the Recycle bin, which is for deleted files. My Network Places, or Network, shows the current network connections that you have available. And in Windows Vista, the Windows Sidebar, which enables small helper applications called gadgets. The A+ certification expects you to be familiar with some of the function keys and their common uses. F1 for help, F2 to rename, F3 is the search menu, F5 refresh the current window, and F6 move among selections in the current window. Here's a look at some of the more popular hotkeys. Again, the A+ examination expects you to be familiar with some of the more popular hotkeys, especially ones like Control A to select all the items in the current window, and Shift F10, open a shortcut menu for the selected item. However, it's recommended that you remember all of these. Now, techs need to know where to find the important operating system folders and files. And, more importantly, what to do when you get there. Going into a system folder or other folders such as program files, documents, and settings, and the ability to enter into the command line C:\Windows. In the system folder is where you're going to find the operating system files installed. This is called system root. In most typical installs of Windows XP, Vista, and 7, you'll find this in C:\Windows. Some of the command line navigation of interest for the A+ certification would be C:\systemroot /system32 and C:\systemroot or C:\Windows /temp. You should also know how to navigate to all of your program files. You'll do that by navigating to C:\program file, and in this folder you'll see all of your installed program files. However, remember, you could be working with either a 32-bit or a 64-bit application and operating system. If you only want to see, for instance, the 32-bit applications that are installed, you'll find the folder labeled C Program Files x86. One of the hidden files is the default user file. You can navigate to it by C:\documents and setting /default user. There you'll find all the default settings for a user. You can also navigate to a specific user's My Documents folder by navigating to C:\documents and settings / and then enter the username that you're searching for. Again, the A+ certification expects you to be familiar with each one of these navigations because it's important to the life of a computer tech to know what to do and where to do it. Here we see the contents of a typical Documents and Settings folder in Windows XP. You'll notice a slight difference or a slight change between Windows XP and Windows Vista. Really, the only thing that changed is the navigation to them. The folders really did retain and do retain the same functions as Windows XP. The only difference is how you're going to navigate to them. Here we see the contents of a typical user folder in Windows Vista. Notice the navigation slightly changed. Now we've navigated to users and then selecting a username like Michael's, and it'll show you the contents of my user folder. Now, if you don't want to see all of the file directories, you can just navigate to the specific file that you're looking for, whether it be documents or downloads. So, where do you find the right tool for the job? The 7 most important tech utilities are the right-click, the control panel, the device manager, the system tools, the command line, the Microsoft Management Console, and administrative tools. With the right-click, it brings up a menu of options for that object. It works almost everywhere. From the right-click, you'll most often select the Property selection. The control panel handles maintenance, upgrade, and configuration aspects of Windows. For instance, within the control panel, I can navigate to indexing options or adding new hardware. The device manager is used to configure hardware and drivers. You're going to access that through the control panel. And depending on whether you're running Windows XP or Windows Vista and 7, you'll go to the properties of My Computer and then Hardware, or for Windows Vista and 7, the properties of Computer and then Device Manager. Navigate to Computer Management, or you can simply enter Start, then Run, and then type dev-mgmt.msc and then click OK. It all gets you to the same place, the Device Manager. Within the Device Manager, devices are organized in special groups called types. If you see an X or a black exclamation point on a yellow background, it's indicative that that piece of hardware has a problem. If you notice a down arrow icon, it means the device was manually disabled. You can also use the Device Manager to update individual drivers. This typically is going to be the first place you go to check for hardware issues. Here's a look at the Device Manager. System Tools is a collection of tech utilities found on the Start menu. Go to Start, All Programs, Accessories, and then System Tools. Here's what it should look like. Windows offers a built-in backup utility. It enables you to back up selected files and folders to removable media such as tape drives. Windows Vista will only back up your personal data with the Backup Status and Configuration tool. It only allows you to back up to optical media, a hard drive, or a network drive. You cannot back it up to the system itself. Within Disk Tools, you can perform functions such as Disk Cleanup or Disk Defragmenter. The File Settings and Transfer Wizard transfers user settings to a new or upgraded PC in Windows XP. The same utility is found in Windows Vista and 7. It's called Windows Easy Transfer. It, much like its XP predecessor, functions similarly to Files and Settings Transfer Wizard. Here's a look at the XP Files and Settings Transfer Wizard on the left and the Windows Easy Transfer tool on the right. Performing scheduled tasks is fairly easy in all of the Windows operating systems. Simply go to Scheduled Tasks and schedule any program to start and stop at any time, such as the Disk Defragmenter. In Windows XP, you'll find the Security Center. It's a one-stop location for configuring many of the security features on your computer. Windows Vista and Windows 7 remove the Security Center from the system tools. However, Windows Vista and Windows 7 removes the Security Center from the system tools, and it's been replaced by a beefed up applet called the Action Center. To find information about your PC, simply navigate to System Information. It shows tons of information about the hardware and software on your PC. And you can also restore your PC. This is especially helpful when dealing with patches that you may have installed that made the machine unstable. It enables you basically to take a snapshot of the critical files and settings and return to that state later if you need to. In Windows 7, you'll find the Resource Monitor. It tracks CPU, memory, disk, and network usage on your computer. It displays that information in charts and graphs. It can help you track down performance or system resource issues. Next, you'll find the command line interface. Simply go to Start and then Run and type the letters CMD. We'll go into more detail later of the command line interface. Right now, it's just important for you to know how to get there. Next, the Microsoft Management Console, or easily put, the MMC. Basically, it's a shell program that holds utilities called snap-ins. To get to the MMC, go to Start and then Run and type the letters MMC. You're going to start with a blank console, and then you'll add snap-ins. Go to File and then Add Remove Snap-ins and then Add. Now, save the new console for whatever tasks that you are getting ready to perform. Here's a list of some of the available pre-configured snap-ins that you can select depending on what your needs are. whether it be to navigate to computer management, looking up the certificates on the computer, or maybe reconfiguring the group policies. Within the Administrative Tools folder, you can find many of the predefined MMC consoles. Simply go to Control Panel and click on Administrative Tools. The three most used administrative tools are Computer Management, Event Viewer, and Performance or Reliability and Performance Monitor. Computer Management is a predefined MMC that pulls together snap-ins related to many computer management options. For instance, this is one that I just put a shortcut on my desktop for because often I will need to perform functions like disk management for wiping a hard drive or configuring the shares across the networks. The Event Viewer keeps track of events that happen with your computer, like reporting system errors. The System Monitor or Performance Monitor shows real-time data. Here you'll also see performance logs and alerts. Here you'll see the System Monitor in action. And here you see the facelift. Windows Vista and Windows 7 greatly enhanced this performance tool. It's called Reliability and Performance Monitor, and you see down here that it's open to the Reliability Monitor screen in Windows Vista. Notice the graphical interface shows where and on what dates that the system ran into problems, such as application or hardware failures, and even Windows failures. Next, we have services. They're just little programs that are happening behind the scenes to make the user's PC more useful. However, this is a good place to go when you run into, for instance, a machine that boots up slowly. You can administratively disable some services from starting and will only start when the service is required, or you can configure some to automatically start when the system starts up. Now let's take a look at the Action Center. It provides a one-page aggregation of event messages, warnings, and maintenance messages. So if you need, for instance, to install antivirus, you will find that warning message in the Action Center in Windows 7. It separates issues into two sections, security and maintenance, and easily color-coded to know what you should pay attention to first. There you have it. It's pretty simple. Remember, everything starts with the basics. Once you have these understood, everything gets a whole lot easier. If you have any questions or even just a comment, feel free to leave them below, and I do read each and every one of them. I'll see you next time.